Hello, and welcome to Soothing Pod. My name is David, and today I would like to help you relax and fall asleep, guided by my voice and the story you are about to hear. Tonight, I am going to take you on a journey to a warm and wonderful place. A place that seems as if stories are just waiting to happen here. A place that if you visit with a sense of wonder and delight, you leave with your wishes coming true. Before we go on this journey, let's take a moment to relax and pause for a few seconds of silence. Breathing in deeply and pausing for 4 seconds longer. And exhaling and pausing for another 4 seconds of stillness. And now, as we feel our body beginning to settle and sink into our bed, into the blissful state of doing nothing, our heart rate slows. Our mind wanders, and we just let it. When you think about Mediterranean cities, what draws you into dreaming most? Is it the warm air in the summer that carries with it the salty scent of the sea? Is it the long and lazy, delicious and considerably healthy lunches the people here are inclined to take? The ones that end, eventually, in a restful siesta on a bright green lawn or sun-kissed beach. Perhaps you think about the afternoon stroll, a long and inviting promenade with your loved ones, sea yachts in view, other people enjoying the sunshine, and a general feeling of delight. Maybe, for you, the charm of the Mediterranean is in its cuisine. Fresh bounties from the sea, succulent fish, plump stuffed squid, or wine-infused sauces for dunking fluffy homemade bread. Or maybe it is the music, the laughter, the conversation you hear from strangers and friends. There are cities we dream about, and cities that dreams are made of. Barcelona is one such city. It has all of the above, plus fantastic, eccentric architecture. You can tour the whole city in 48 hours or spend 48 days longer. When you go to Barcelona, try lingering in the tiny alleyways, discovering hidden galleries, making conversations with the people who call these busy streets their home. Some people who visit here think Barcelona is pretty perfect. Cosmopolitan on one hand, relaxed and easy on the other. As you start to drift off to sleep tonight, let's go on a journey there. Why not? Come with me across the seas, or maybe across the skies, whatever kind of travel you prefer. Soon, we find ourselves on the harbour of this bustling city. From the docks, we can already see the busy cafes, the walking crowds, the different types of travellers. Some are tourists with their straw hats. Others are businessmen in town for a conference. We decide to stop here for a day, to enjoy a stroll, to soak up all the sights and sounds, rejuvenating our senses. Barcelona has gorgeous sea views, nearby beaches, and lots of open nature just minutes outside the city. But even if you are just strolling its deep alleyways, you can spend a long time taking it all in. Those who have an eye for artistic buildings will enjoy Gaudi's buildings. Allow yourself to feel like a child once again as you gaze at his surreal architecture and designs, as if his drawings came to life. And they really did. The Gothic churches are another draw, with their mysterious steeples and well-planned patterns. And if you find that you must stand in line for a while waiting at the entrance, you can always remember that the sun here shines at a mild temperature. Yes, summers are pretty hot, so plan your trip accordingly. And if you have no choice, or if you crave the warmth, of course, there's often a nearby ice cream stand to cool yourself down with the delightful tastes of citrus fruits, frozen delights, or creamier flavors. Remember that with this Mediterranean climate, you probably will not experience extreme heat nor extreme cold. Some humidity is to be expected around July and August, and if you come during these hotter months, best to pack your swimming gear. Do you love listening to outdoor music concerts? Or is your favorite sound the lull of sea waves as they crash over and over on a beckoning shore? Do you crave the sights of a busy city? Enjoy people watching as they sip their summer shakes and coffee? Or do you prefer the silence of a deserted yet dazzling beach? For those who love to people watch, here you will find human nature in all ages, all forms, all languages. What else should you know when visiting a city like Barcelona? In general, like other Spanish cities, the restaurants are open from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. for lunch. And then there is the revered siesta. Dinners are late. Don't try to order dishes before 7 p.m. That's what tapas bars are for. Little snacks to munch on along with your favorite drink of choice. It's around 8:30 p.m. that you will want to reserve a table. But no rush. The pace of life is quite relaxed here, so you'd best bring a favorite book, a magazine, or a best friend for company. You might enjoy the views of sky-high constructions, so a walk around the city could be enough to entertain. Yet, this is a city that stories and legends are made of. So, follow your intuition. See a sculpted dragon? An invitation to an art show? Follow wherever your feet and desires lead. You might turn around some corner and watch it open up to age-old Roman ruins. So stay on for a bit of culture and history. At the Park della Ciutadella, children frolic, splashing in fountains, and if a rainbow-colored bubble comes sailing by in the air, resist the urge to pop it. Continue your dreamlike walk through this public park, enjoying the shade of trees, the colorful flower beds, the warmth of spring or summer, whenever you choose to arrive. The ornate fountain was designed by Giuseppe Fonseca. If you don't know his name, perhaps you are more familiar with the name of his student, Antoni Gaudi. Next, a stroll along the city's main artery, La Rambla, a path that goes on for a mile. La Rambla is perhaps Barcelona's best-known street. Strolling here takes you on a lovely mile-long discovery. You start right at the port, with a view of the boats and yachts anchored in the water. Along your walk, you may see a few tourist information points where you can pick up a brochure or two to learn about the history and best sights to see in the city. As you stroll slowly and relaxed along the long stretch of boulevard, you will also pass by the Wax Museum, the Verena Palace Information Center and Exhibition Space, where there is simply much more to discover. And then, in time, you will come to the interesting Boccheria food market, a world worth spending much of your time in. If wandering around fresh food markets is your thing, come here first thing in the morning, just when things start to get busy. Quietly watch as the stall owners set up shop to begin their day. Some folks fondly call the Boccheria food market the best food market in the world. But why such an endearment? Perhaps because here you will find gastronomical products from over 200 traders, selling all sorts of local and international food. They are welcoming and unpretentious. Here is a good place to find out what local foods are in season and how to best prepare them. A market is the best place to learn about how a city's inhabitants really interact. Maybe you are studying the language and want some practice in numbers and calculation. Listen closely to how things are spoken here. If you have studied a bit of Spanish, why not try practicing some greetings and conversation here at the market? For it's in a local farmer's market that one truly finds the heartbeat, the pulse of a city. And even if you do not understand all the conversation or the language, It is still a good place to observe life as it unfolds every morning, continues into the day, and lingers into the early evening hours. Now, we continue walking to uncover ancient Roman history. Let's continue our walk up a hill, located where there is now a cathedral. Yet in ancient Roman times, there was, in fact, a temple on these grounds. There was even a smaller temple, the Temple d'Auguste, named for the powerful and legendary Emperor Augustus. If you would like to explore further, then walk this way. You will be amazed to come across 4 Corinthian columns, originally a part of this ancient temple. Can you imagine the stories that were once lived here? For hundreds and hundreds of years, these columns lay undiscovered and only recently discovered in the 19th century. This is just one example of Barcelona's architectural wonders. Now, let's take a walk along the marvel that is, in fact, a Gothic cathedral. Then continue our stroll into what many consider Barcelona's prettiest neighborhood. Here, at the Born, medieval buildings will catch your eye. With many charming cafes and boutiques waiting along pedestrian lines, it's hard not to stop for a while and enjoy the pleasantries of doing nothing. Did you know that the Passage del Born was, once upon a time, a medieval jousting ground? Now you will find it still a busy place for folks to gather. It is now watched over by the Santa Maria del Mar Church at one end and the Born Centre de Cultura at the other. Next, what could be more relaxing than a slow and sumptuous picnic in the park? Many of the old city residents head to Ciutadella, the perfect weekend spot. Here, you find all kinds of characters: street musicians, elderly grandparents walking their youngest treasures, tourists wandering, and locals enjoying the sun. Children are welcome here, so don't be surprised if a few whiz by on their roller skates and bicycles. If you have even more time to spend here at the park, take a ride in the boating lake. You will see a waterfall partly designed by Gaudi, a city zoo, lots of interesting sculptures, and plenty of places to stop for refreshing drinks and snacks. Stop a while to admire the sculptures too. Each tells a fascinating story of the city's history. The playgrounds here include space even for blind or disabled children. And if you're seeking a few hours of peace, settle yourself down on the grass next to the pond in the beautiful rose gardens. Perhaps you have come with friends and want to enjoy your picnic. Here is the perfect place for that. If a cultural experience is one of your goals when visiting a city, the next place I want to take you to is Montjuic. This is a place perhaps best known for its museums. There are so many to choose from. The MNAC, the Fundació Joan Miró, and the Olympic, archaeological and ethnological museums. But if you prefer the sight of natural gardens spreading out over the hillside, you will find those beauties here too. If you only see one sight in the city, perhaps it should be the one that is as famous for its construction woes as its history, the Sagrada Familia. Its construction first began in 1882, and to this day it is still visited by millions of people every year. Partially built by Gaudi and declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005, it is set to be finished in 2026. Gaudi's death centenary. According to the story, way back in 1881, the Spiritual Association of the Devotees of Saint Joseph garnered enough donations to buy a 12,800 square meter plot for building the temple. The building project began with a different architect, Francisco de Paula del Villa, and was turned over to Gaudi in 1883. He came up with a very ambitious design for the architecture, proposing an elaborate temple with 5 naves, 3 facades, 18 towers, a transept, an apse, and even an exterior ambulatory. A complex project indeed, and you can still witness its intricate details as you stand under its towering glory while waiting in long lines for entrance. Gaudi was determined to make this creation one of the most remarkable of all times, and dedicated 43 years of his life to working on it. However, it seems that he knew it would never be fully completed in his lifetime. He was striving for perfection, and even this goal seemed unattainable. The work of Antoni Gaudi, which you can still behold with reverence now, presents sculpted figurines of the life of Jesus and the history of the Christian faith. The 18 towers stand for iconic biblical figures, and their sheer size reflects the reverence each character is given by the church. Because so many visitors flock to this site every year, you may find that the time you spend in lines takes up most of your day. So, it's up to you if you would rather just admire the facade of the Sagrada Familia, and then continue your adventure on foot around this fascinating city. In the heat of the summer, perhaps you delight in a dip in cool, calming waters. Then you will find the perfect place to get refreshed, even in the middle of the city. There is space for this on a man-made beach constructed in the 90s and complete with palm trees imported from Malaga. Would you believe that in this cosmopolitan place you can find 7 kilometers, 4 miles of sand? The truth is that until 1992, there were no beaches in Barcelona. After all, one can simply drive nearby or take a train to the coast and enjoy a splendid time on the natural coast, soaking up the sun. But now, the city's artificial beaches have given Barcelona many more treasures that visitors want to discover. According to National Geographic and Discovery Channel, it now boasts some of the best beaches in the world. So go ahead, Wander slowly along its pretty 4.5 kilometers coastline. For entertainment, you will have simply too much to choose from. Bars, restaurants, hotels, boutique shops, and ice cream parlors. After all that walking, the next best thing to do when relaxing in the city is to soak up in a spa in Barcelona. In this city, you can find a number of relaxing hotel spas, perfect for a pampered afternoon after a full morning pounding the pavement. Do you love a lingering massage, a steamy sauna, a simple pedicure or manicure? In Barcelona, you find everything from exotic treatments to classic spa offers. And if you are lucky enough to have booked a luxury hotel, well then, you might not even need to go anywhere. Barcelona has you covered. Many of these coveted spots come with balconies and rooftop sun decks. It's an easy choice for anyone who would rather just relax and watch time and the city pass by at a leisurely pace. We told you before that dinners can be late in this city. So go ahead, take a nice long nap after all that pampering. Soak up in your bubbly bath, steam a cup of tea or coffee, and then close your eyes and let yourself fall asleep in the middle of the day. As you drift off into a midday lullaby, you will feel yourself relaxing and sinking deeper and deeper into a calm state of mind. If you do drift off to sleep, that is the best thing that can happen to you after a long and energetic day. You can choose to spend the rest of it in your hotel bed, or head to one of the many beaches, or take a taxi or train and go to the nearby coast to finish your afternoon pampering. There is a beach for every kind of person here, from the gaggle of groupie friends to singles or romantics looking for their next daring adventure. Of course, Barcelona is also a very family-friendly place, with plenty to keep little ones busy for a holiday. This is a city with a strong and proud sense of identity, but also a city that knows how to have fun and relax. If lingering in the alleyways and tapas bars of Barcelona feels a bit like a time warp, that's because it is. One can get caught up in simply eating, drinking, laughing, and having a good time in good company. It's said that Spain has more bars per capita than any other country in the world. So make a bit of drinking and eating your main itinerary when visiting this lively city. Try the variety of tapas, flavorful bites to go with your favorite drink. Choose to have a table spread with snacks and eat lightly, or sink into a long and lingering feast. The most important thing when you come here is to relax, to open your mind whilst you close your eyes during a long siesta, to open up your heart while you learn to listen to the fascinating sounds that surround you, the lilting languages, the Spanish songs, the feeling of the wind and sun on your face as you soak up the salty sea. There is wonder finding a place where the mind can both be still and wander. Many an artist and writer has come to the shores and streets of Barcelona seeking escape. I hope that as you sleep tonight, you too can drift off into an adventure where any place you want to visit will become a reality for you. For now, close your eyes. Let the air carry you wherever you want to be. Let the starlight shine on your heart as you make a wish to travel, and as you work to make those wishes come true. I wish you a restful sleep, sweet dreams, and a delightful day when you awake tomorrow. Good night for now. I hope you will join me next time on Soothing Pod.